you're trying to get Little Free Library network, really a network or a movement established in Shreveport, in the Shreveport area. What challenges have you faced, and what major steps does it take to get a work off the ground? Who are the real stakeholders to reach, and to get Little Free Library network established in a city?
That's a good question. Let me start out by saying my wife and I are both librarians, and we are both recent transplants to Shreveport. And I think that was a bit of a liability because we weren't familiar with the movers and shakers within the community. So when we were really enthusiastic about the program, and so we created a Facebook group, figuring that social media was the first place to start getting a little bit of information out there to the public. And then we decided, let's have a meeting at a park on a Sunday afternoon after church where people, be available. And the people that showed up were our library friends. We had two other people other than librarians that showed up, and that was our initial group that we worked with. And since then, we have approached some other stakeholders. We've approached local businesses, neighborhood organizations, and the other chief concerns have seemed to be mainly construction. We've got people that are willing to house them in their yards. We've the Shreveport Memorial Library, which is the Shreveport, the Caddo Parish library system. The Friends of the library system are willing to give books to this organization, our organization, for the Little Free Libraries. It's just getting them constructed in place. And so that's the biggest stumbling block right now. So it's actually, we're just waiting for them to come up. And Halloween night, my wife and I, we were going to dinner, and we were driving, we were talking about coming here for this, and we were, all of a sudden I was like, Little Free Library. She's like, what? There's one right there. And I hit the brakes, turn around, we make the block, and somebody has actually installed one. And we saw a picture earlier, and it looks like their house, and the glass door, they have a lot of windows work on the front of their house. And it was wonderful. It was set off the road a little bit. So it's not on the littlefreelibrary.org site yet, but it's where it can be registered, so it's not on the map yet. We've got one up, and the problem with our group of friends has been time constraints. We're all librarians. We're doing this 10 to 12-hour day. At least my wife and I have. We just haven't had the time. We've got a library that's in the process of being. We just have to sand it and paint it and put it up. And I just haven't had time to finish getting it sanded and painted. But back to stakeholders, the real stakeholders are not the librarians interested in doing it, it's the community. And it's still getting more information, getting more people interested in Facebook, and we've partnered with some other organizations, NORLA, which is the North Louisiana Preservation Group, which is looking at relocating 6 shotgun houses, which are about to be, which were going to be demolished. There's actually 10 in the group, actually more than that, but there are 10 that will be given over to this organization. 6 are going to be moved and turned into commercial space, and 4 are going to be deconstructed, and we're hoping to get wood and materials off of that to turn into libraries. So hopefully future stakeholders can